All right, this is the CBN, also known as the Conspiracy Broadcasting Network. This is a video and a series that should be vlog 114. This is video series letter F, I believe, as Franklin. Am I right or wrong? Or Echo? I think it's Franklin. Um, and long story short, we're going to discuss more of what happened in August. And I want to make sure that I'm condensing things and making sure that I'm inserting the right details. After all of these videos and instances, by the way, there's only one thing that I want to pull out. And it was about the IVs at one of the ambulance services. It wasn't the button one. It was a giant butterfly with these big wings. So when you pull the plastic and you nudge the wing, it causes the sheath to move around. It causes the catheter to move around the needle. So on this particular ambulance service, which I've never seen before, but they had these giant butterfly wings on them. And the second I opened the package, butterfly wing just kind of like went against the package a little bit and started sliding the catheter, and it became problematic. It wasn't the button. It was the button on other ambulance services, but in this particular one on that day that I was talking about, that is the only correction that out of all of this information, that is the only correction that I can think of after reviewing and thinking of everything that I put down after literally over 100 videos now. On this video, I'm going to talk about cyberstalking. Go figure. That is the foundation of how this whole program works, using some type of technology to survey your geospatial location, everything you say, everything you do, everything you think. They're doing some type of, once you're able to pull conversation, you can literally put it in a computer, and then the computer can just guesstimate and say exactly what it is you're going to say. And then people in your personal and proximal space, public space, will walk around and start talking like you, doing things like you, and it's based off of surveillance. And the AI system can basically calculate your next sentences and things of that nature. And so it works, I'm assuming, like that. But in this particular day, we're talking August 23. I'm going to do a quick screen share really quick and show you how there's a two edges here on their attack. Number one, it's keeping you busy on this whole August time frame. It's keeping you busy on this particular day. And then it's keeping, because also there's another bill coming in around the 25th or something. Also, they're using this 23 because it's the 2 and the 3, right? They're using the 2 and the 3. They're using like the 2 charges or 3 charges or even 3 misdemeanors or whatever it may be. They're using this number, and it also adds up to 5, which is interesting. So there you go. So again, this picture of inundating you with all of this communication electronically. We can't touch you, and we can't have verbal conversation with you out here around your job or workplace or where you go grocery shopping. So we're going to attack your phone, your internet, and everything you own electronically. But when you go to court, which is back in the public setting, we're still going to use ambient abuse in tactics of indirect conversation and terrorism. So here is a picture of what they've got going on the 23rd. I'm going to do a share, and whoops, I'm going to do a screen share here. Screen share should be window here, share. Okay. So you see here that this is a picture, a screen share of my text messages. And on this day, I have this weird stuff going on. Okay, you see all that? And they even ask you down here to open up some type of image, which you should never do. But you notice that they came in with 5 or so. Look at this, 5 messages in total. Foreign and something I don't know of. I deleted my Instagram like weeks prior to this. So I don't know what this is about, but you see here they're sending you all this information. Also, I'm getting spam calls, and when you answer the spam call, it's going to mention something about, are you financially in hardship? Do you need money? And everything's about making a mockery of the fact that you're removing yourself from employment that's associated with people because of the terrorism and the stalking and the harassment. And then the police are playing into it using the permissive neglect and the coercive control to criminalize you. I'm just not living or being a part of that. Also, on the back end, you're getting all of this um, deterioration of your health because of the consequences of the persistence and the terroristic nature of it. The Raynaud's and tearing your Achilles and the insomnia and all the things that come with elevated cortisol levels. The other thing that is obvious here, other than making semantics with the numbers, is they're using this array of numerous messages right now, because what they're doing is they're erasing all evidence within the phone. So what they're doing is they're sending an exceptional amount of messages and using an exceptional amount of phone calls in order to erase and cause spoliation of your phone records. And they know that court is coming up, and they want to abuse the phone and erase any of the correspondence previous, especially the correspondence regarding the police and the phone calls you've made, and all the records that you have. They want to make sure that that is erased. Okay. And so what they'll start doing is they'll start using this bombardment of messages, a huge bombardment of messages. And that's what I've been receiving ever since my arrest on February 19th. Even though they're stalking me during the day of the arrest and spoofing me semantical text while I'm in jail, and then doing so days afterwards all the way to present. This, I also can upload Walmart. The driver is sending me 6 text messages, which is not normal. I've got that on record as well. For some reason, there's this astronomical amount of messaging going on with the text on Walmart's delivery. And so they're starting to basically destroy evidence, and I don't have the money to go fight with the Straight Talk because I don't have the employment right now, and I'm seeking employment, but I don't have the monetary $600 to go, according to the FCC, to force them to surrender my records, which I thought is stupid because by the FCC federal regulations, my phone records are accessible to me. End of discussion. And so the FCC is telling me that I have to get an attorney, and it's going to cost $600 to get my phone records. And you can see that they're using the number 6. Again, using the number 6, $600. Okay. Then, what else? They're making these phone calls constantly. What else are they doing? They're just doing all kinds of stuff. Honestly, when these phone calls come through, if there's something like somebody trying to get a hold of me, they'll only call when I'm walking away from the phone, or they'll only call whenever I'm out of the room. If I'm waiting on a call. Matter of fact, what they did was, I remember last month I was putting in a lot more applications, but then I see there's this huge imbalance of my experience in healthcare, and then my experience in the capabilities of me to have hard skill to soft skill, and then my tenure with clinical excellence and prowess, like just that whole grasp of things. I think that I wouldn't have any problem doing the jobs I'm applying for because I've went above and beyond the academic curriculum of what I went through to achieve the certificate. The curriculums that I've been through are more in depth and more robust and more evidence based and clinically rounded in competence level than the education in which I'm even applying for, that I went through, I should say, and the jobs I'm applying for thereafter. So there's a huge disconnect in that whole piece. And what they'll do is they'll have they'll wait for me to send the application, and then what they'll do is they'll wait 30 minutes to an hour, and they'll have somebody call me, and it'll be a spam. It'll say something like, "Hey, are you in financial burden? Are you in this and that? You should pull a loan, this, that, and the other thing." And it's just feeding on you. It's just feeding. It's an organism, and it's a multifaceted approach to spoliation of evidence, which is destroying your records and any evidence you have, and patterns of the behavior. And it's just destroy because you can't get it. Even though the FCC says in regulations you have your rights to have those, they want you to literally use money fiscally to hire an attorney and then literally pull teeth from Straight Talk to get phone records. And that's how you have to yank their teeth, okay, to get them to let go. And I already found the first time I asked, they kept denying it for months. So we're talking like not just an exceptional amount of the traditional, I think it was 45 days or 30 days or something like that. We're talking like they were ignoring me and dodging me. Now they won't even pick up the phone. Okay. So that's what level we are at with our connection with each other. That doesn't say something. And then the stuff that they did send me when I finally got it one time was all contorted, and they had botched out numbers and cities, and you could tell that they were just erasing things, making sure that didn't come to fruition. Okay, so this concludes this episode, and now we have to deal with the vehicles still, which is a common deal. Every time I go outside to let the dogs out, they're following. And I have people throwing things like their cell phone, which I took pictures of, with no battery in my yard. There's always things in my yard, but my yard has no fence between me and my neighbor. And there's never things in my neighbor's yard, but there's always things in my yard. I took pictures of this. Okay. And I can go into video evidence of all of these vehicles passing by the times, okay, all of July. They're sitting there passing by. Every time I touch the door, they're passing by their vehicles, even when I'm inside. And I talked about this on my vlog August 15th, if you're interested, which I don't really give a shit if you are, because it's not about you. This is just for me to put the truth out there. And I want this detail to be out there so that I have something to appreciate years from now, and that it was in existence, and I could see the actual nature of society, and I could see the nature and the behavior of society. And it just reinforces that your intuition is always something that you should listen to. And you started feeling this unnecessary gravity and psychological weight, and this perception of people doing awkward and bizarre things years ago in your early teens, and something just wasn't right. And when that fucking feeling comes, forever and ever, don't you ever fucking forget that. If you feel that there is something not right in the fucking crevices of your gut, in the very philtrum of the folds in your gut, just the littlest things, and you feel that, there's a reason you feel that. And sure enough, it didn't let me down, and it doesn't let me down, and it just reinforces that every single day. This is vlog 114 and the series A through F, maybe even E, I forgot already. A lot of information. This closes it out, and I might do 2 weeks from now, I might do 3, but either way, I'm going to be around.